All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something that so many of us do every single day, probably without even thinking about it. But it might be setting off this wild and honestly kind of serious chain reaction in our bodies. So, welcome to our deep dive on the domino effect of forward head posture. So, let me just ask you something real quick. As you're listening to this, where's your head? Are you kind of leaning forward, looking down at your phone or your laptop? Just take a second and notice, because that simple little position, well, that might be the very start of everything we're about to unpack. We're calling this the domino effect for a reason. And that very first domino to get knocked over is what people now call text neck. It's that forward head tilt that's just become second nature in our world of screens. This is ground zero. This is the little push that starts that whole cascade of problems. And here we go. This image really gives us a clear picture of what we're talking about. See, this isn't just about bad posture or slouching. It's a very specific shift where your head literally drifts forward, way out of alignment with your spine. Just look at that unnatural curve it's creating. This is exactly what we're breaking down. Okay, let's put the official name on it, Forward Head Postural Syndrome. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. Your head just juts forward, away from where it should be, right over your shoulders. This little shift forces all the muscles in your neck and upper back to go into overdrive, constantly fighting gravity just to hold your head up. And this is where the science gets a little bit scary. So your head weighs what, about 10 to 12 pounds on average? But for every single inch it moves forward, the weight your spine has to deal with just skyrockets. A tilt of just a couple of inches can make it feel like you're carrying a 30, maybe even 40-pound weight on your neck all day long. Insane, right? So all that constant strain has to go somewhere. And that leads us to the first wave of problems. The immediate dominoes that get knocked over right away. These are the symptoms that most of us would probably connect with poor posture. Does any of this list look familiar? We're talking about those chronic headaches or migraines, that nagging pain in your neck that just won't quit, and even jaw issues like TMJ. And that strain, it can radiate out, causing shoulder problems and that constant ache in your upper back. These are basically your body's first warning flares. And the key here is that this isn't just some random pain. It's a direct mechanical problem. Your muscles are being stretched and totally overworked, and your joints are under this constant pressure, all because they're scrambling to compensate for that head leaning forward. It's pure cause and effect. But what if I told you that all of that was just the beginning? This is where things get really interesting. Because the domino effect, it doesn't just stop with sore muscles. No, the chain reaction can keep going, triggering a whole bunch of other health issues you would never ever think to connect to your posture. I mean, just look at this list. Acid reflux, sleep apnea, even vision problems and carpal tunnel. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? These conditions feel like they're in a completely different universe from how you hold your head. But the connection is real. That forward slump, for example, can physically compress your insides, which can contribute to acid reflux. It's an incredible example of how everything in our bodies is connected. And yeah, it's a totally fair question. How on earth can the angle of your neck mess with your stomach or the way you breathe? It feels like a major stretch, but the answer really comes down to seeing your body not as a bunch of separate parts, but as one single, incredibly complex system. And here it is. This is the key. Your spine is like the super highway for your entire nervous system. So when it's out of whack, it can mess with the nerve signals going to your whole body. On top of that, leaning forward literally squishes your chest cavity. It limits how much your ribs and diaphragm can move, which can impact your breathing and even lead to things like sleep apnea. It's all connected. And here is the whole picture, all 16 conditions, laid out side by side. You see the ones you'd expect, right? Neck pain, back pain. But then you see dizziness, pain shooting down your arms, chronic fatigue, and even sciatica. It is a truly staggering list that just goes to show how far that one little domino falling at the beginning can reach. Okay, so after seeing all that, the next logical question is, what do we do? How can we check our own posture and maybe start tipping those dominoes back in the right direction? Well, the very first step is just awareness. So here's a super simple test you can do right now. Go find a wall and stand with your back flat against it. Your heels should be a couple inches away. Now, if your posture is in a good spot, both your shoulder blades and the back of your head should be comfortably touching the wall without you having to force it back. If your head is floating way out in front, That's a pretty clear sign you've got forward head posture. And that really leaves us with one final thought. Now that you've seen this whole potential chain reaction, from a simple ache in your neck all the way to things like chronic fatigue and sleep apnea, what's the next domino for you? Is it going to be another health issue down the line? Or is it going to be the decision to just be a little more aware, to start making a change? That choice is all yours.